This video is made with the sponsorship of Ecrotech New Zealand, one source for all your beekeeping requirements. Hi, Trev here from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. Well, I had a call to go out to have a look at this problem that we've got some unwanted visitors in the ceiling of a house. I'm going to collect these bees up and I'm going to take them round to Andrea Tamatia's place. Today's the 6th of November 2016 and this is a classic job for my bee vac. So while I'm wearing a headlamp, I found that was a little bit of a problem in that in the dark of the ceiling cavity, the bees all come to fly towards the light. So I had to turn my headlamp off and I'm just using a battery powered LED light. This worked pretty well. The illumination I thought in here inside the ceiling cavity was pretty good, and without having the GoPro attached to me, the photograph or filming is a lot steadier. So I just carefully work around the outside edge for starters, trimming the size of the swarm down. I don't work on any one place at a particular time. I just move around because the bees are moving around all the time, and give them a little bit of a rest. I had to be pretty careful up here in the ceiling. It's quite hard to see where the ceiling joists were, and I didn't want to step through the ceiling. All the ceiling is covered with insul fluff, which is messy and dirty and yuck and makes things difficult to see. However, this whole job of collecting the swarm is going to take about 9 to 10 minutes of real time. I've cut a little bit of my getting in the road of the camera out of the way, so the whole video is only about 7 or 8 minutes. When I'm collecting a swarm like this, I don't try and find the queen. In here it wasn't really light enough to try and spot the queen anyway, so I just go and collect them up and do what I can, how I can. As you can see, in the ceiling cavity like this, the bees get into all sorts of places. There's a strong back on this ceiling, so the bees are up between the strong back and the roof purlin. And then of course they're going up from there and going out through the apex of the ceiling of the roof. And so some of them are going underneath the building paper, and generally it's quite difficult. So now I've changed and I've put a hard end on to the vacuum hose. This is a bit of 18mm conduit which I've put in the heated up with a heat gun and squeezed it up in the vise so the gap's about 8mm, and then I've cut the end off onto about a 30-degree angle. Now this allows me to get into those difficult narrow places where the bees have got in, and so I can get them up, pick up the bees quite a lot easier this way, whereas I can't always get the hose in. I made this little adapter up after I had removed some bees out of a letterbox. That was a difficult operation. So that's it. As you can see, just about all the bees are gone now. So picking up the last few, and with the bee vac you get just about all the bees, and then it's now off around to their destination at Andrea's place. So I've got the hive set up. The little grey band is for the expansion of the bees, where I tip the bees in. So just showing Andrea how many bees are in there. Give the bees a bit of a bang. Take the lid off. Talking to Andrea at the time, and tip the bees in. There's about 3/4 of a kilo of bees, so about 6,000, 7,000 bees. Put the frames in, get the hive all back together again. Within about 3 days, 4 days, the queen should be laying in here. And then it's just a matter of standing around and watching the bees settle down. Talking to Andrea as we're going. Took the last of the bees out of the bucket. So that's it from Trevs Bees on Facebook and YouTube. Another swarm all done and dusted, and we'll catch you around in the swarming season.